So this is from the second session this is the first day, the qualifying day, board 2. And this is just an example of you can have agreements and feel like you've made really clear agreements, and then something comes up that's not quite within the scope of your agreements and you're just on different pages. And this happens to us a lot, Greg, that one of us is just like, oh, well, we discussed this and it's this. And the other one's like, oh, well, we discussed this and it's that.
Mm-hmm.
So we play a version of Lebensall, and we had said, well, let's not play it over 2 diamonds. Let's just play systems on and double as a transfer to hearts and whatever. And I said, oh, okay, but not a natural 2 diamonds, right? And we're like, oh yeah, not a natural 2 diamonds. So we felt like we were on the same page, right? Like a 2 diamonds showing 1 major, we would play systems on, but a natural 2 diamonds we wouldn't. So I open a no trump and they bid 2 diamonds showing diamonds and a major. And so my brain says, well, that includes diamonds, that's natural. And Greg's brain says, well, that's a convention.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened.
Yeah, so a 3-2 fit is not the worst I've ever put you in.
No, we've had fewer trumps than that.
And you played it nicely. Not that it
thank you
mattered.
I think I got a couple match points out of it because we tied the pairs in 4 spades doubled.
Right. Right.
I went 4 down, so minus 200 the hard way, and tied the people in 4 spades doubled 2, took 9 tricks.
Well done. Actually, we were vulnerable. I think you were only 2 down.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's board 2. Sorry, I keep.
I know
by the thing. 2 down makes more sense. I don't see how I could really.
4 down would be
4 down.
I would not be saying you played it well for 4 down. But the
I took 6 tricks.
Right. The takeaway here is that these basic agreements are great. You need some overarching or meta agreements as well to be okay. We said not over natural, but what do we mean by natural? Do we have a definition of this?
Right.
And yeah, it's so easy to feel like, oh, I am confident about this. And partner is, I am confident about this. And 3-2 fit later. It's like, okay, well, that happens.
Yeah, I think so. Adam, I think you and I live in this middle ground as a partnership where we don't play together often enough that we have a comprehensive set of agreements, right? We don't have a big, thick set of system notes, and we haven't played together enough to, I'm not even confident.
At some point.
Yeah, there was a time.
Right.
But I'm not even confident that if we played together again in a year and this same thing came up, that this, my memory would, whatever. But
you're going to watch these videos right before we play next time.
Religiously.
Yeah.
So if you have if you have a super casual partnership, like a pickup partnership that's had a very hasty set of agreements, right?
Right.
You probably wouldn't have even necessarily had a discussion about modifying your agreements over a 2 diamond overcall over 1 no.
Right. You would have just said Lebensall.
We put Lebensall, done. End of story. And this
wouldn't 2 spades and
this wouldn't happen. If you have a very practiced partnership who plays all the time, this also wouldn't happen. This dangerous middle ground where you play often enough or in serious enough events that you try to have some slightly better than slapdash agreements is real dangerous.
Right. They're not quite rounded out enough to get all those edge cases.
Yeah. It's like you've installed a fancy heated floor system in your bathroom, but you didn't caulk the edges, or you don't know, you did it yourself, you didn't hire an electrician, and all of a sudden there's your
sparks.
Yeah, sparks are flying, you don't really know what's going on, and so you got this thing that could be great, but you sort of did a DIY and threw it together at the last minute, and oh boy.
And in some ways for us it's even more dangerous because we do have 100 pages of system notes from 5 years ago. Right. Yeah. And so it's like, I think we talked about this once.
Well, yeah, I remember. I remember discussing this in a cafe in Phoenix in
Right,
2014.
right.
Yeah.
I don't think I should count on Greg to remember that we talked about this and it's in our notes that we're not playing.
Hmm.
Yeah. So if you end up in a 3-2 fit, don't worry about it. You can still win the event.
The meta lesson from this specific hand is if a bid includes the suit that is named, it's natural, even if it might mean other stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a good agreement for us going forward. Write that down, Greg. Put that in our system notes.
Sure, I will. Our system notes now are 1 sentence long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that would include like a Capoletti style 2 spades showing spades in a minor.
Mm-hmm.
It would include like a 2 heart Flannery that showed spades and hearts.
Sure.
Any sort of bid like that. All right, we're going to show you some where we do well, I promise. Maybe.